Close your eyes for a moment and listen. Not with your ears, but with your spirit. There is a shift happening. Can you feel it? Something within you is being called higher. But the question is, are you ready? Many ask for change, but few are prepared to receive it. A shift does not come with comfort. It comes with the unsettling of everything familiar. It comes with the removal of what no longer serves you. It comes with the divine rearranging of your life. The mistake most people make is they resist the shift. They cling to old ways, old thoughts, and old versions of themselves. But what you hold on to is what keeps you bound. If you refuse to release, you refuse to rise. God is shifting you into something greater. But before you can step into it, you must let go of what is holding you back. Do you trust the unseen? Do you trust that the discomfort you feel now is part of a divine plan? Stop looking at your circumstances as obstacles. They are not barriers, they are signs. Every delay, every closed door, every ending, it is all orchestrated to move you to where you are meant to be. If you are ready for this shift, then walk in it. Stop waiting for proof. Stop waiting for confirmation. Speak as if it is already yours. Feel as though you have already arrived. The moment you do, reality will bend to match your faith. Every great transformation begins within. Long before circumstances shift, before doors open, before the visible world reflects change, something deep within must first be renewed. The world around you is only a mirror, reflecting the assumptions, beliefs, and inner conversations that dominate your mind. If you desire a new reality, you must first create it internally. Most people believe that change is something that happens to them, something external that must first appear before they can believe it to be real. They wait for signs, for proof, for tangible evidence that something is different. But in truth, the process is the opposite. The external world is not the cause, it is the effect. The true shift happens first in the unseen, in the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you nurture, and the convictions you hold. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant within it, whether seeds of abundance or seeds of lack, will eventually grow into your experience. The challenge is that many people unknowingly plant weeds while wishing for a harvest of prosperity. They say they desire change, yet their inner dialogue contradicts their spoken words. They may long for love, yet they harbor thoughts of unworthiness. They may dream of success, yet they entertain fears of failure. The mind cannot produce a life beyond its dominant thoughts. What you dwell upon persistently becomes the blueprint of your reality. This is why it is not enough to simply wish for change. A wish is weak. It is fleeting, unstable, and easily swayed by doubt. A true shift requires something deeper, a conviction, a knowing, an unshakable assumption that what you desire is already yours. It requires the discipline to reject old thought patterns, to silence the voice of fear, and to embrace a new state of mind that aligns with the life you seek. Consider the power of assumption. Every moment you are assuming something about yourself, about life, about what is possible for you. These assumptions are not neutral. They are creative forces shaping your path. If you assume struggle, struggle will find you. If you assume ease, doors will open effortlessly. The mind, when left unchecked, tends to repeat the same familiar narratives, reinforcing the same reality over and over again. But the moment you take conscious control of your assumptions, you take control of your destiny. This is where most people falter. They attempt to change outwardly while remaining the same inwardly. They work harder, push more, force circumstances to bend, yet nothing seems to change. Why? Because their core belief system has remained untouched. They have tried to rearrange the shadows without altering the light source. True transformation is not about manipulating the external. It is about shifting the internal. When the mind fully embraces a new state of being, the outer world must conform. It has no choice. Think of a person who has been struggling financially. They may work tirelessly, pursue every opportunity, and still find themselves barely getting by. This is because they have not yet shifted their inner state. Deep down, they may hold beliefs about scarcity, about money being difficult to attain, about success being reserved for others. Until these beliefs are uprooted and replaced with new ones, beliefs of abundance, ease, and deservingness, their external reality will continue to reflect lack. But the moment they truly shift in their mind, when they fully embrace abundance as their natural state, life will begin to reshape itself in miraculous ways. Opportunities will present themselves, resources will flow, and what once seemed impossible will become effortless. The same applies to love, health, personal growth, every aspect of life. The world responds to your dominant inner state, not to fleeting wishes or half-hearted affirmations. This is why change must begin with awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind daily. Observe your inner conversations. Are they aligned with the life you desire, or are they reinforcing the very reality you wish to escape? Once you become aware, the next step is discipline. It is not enough to notice negative thoughts. They must be replaced with new ones. This is not an overnight process, but a continuous practice. Just as a gardener tends to his land, removing weeds and nurturing the seeds he wants to grow, so must you tend to your mind. You must consciously assume the state you desire, think from it, and persist in that assumption even before any evidence appears. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but the faith that comes from understanding how reality truly works. The moment you shift internally, the external must follow. It may not happen instantly, but it will happen. The world cannot help but reflect the dominant state you hold within. Your job is not to force or struggle, but to maintain that inner knowing until the outer world catches up. The key is persistence. Many people begin this process with enthusiasm, but the moment they see no immediate change, they revert to their old ways of thinking. This is like planting a seed and then digging it up each day to check if it has grown. True transformation requires patience. Hold firm to your new state, trust that it is already done, and refuse to be swayed by appearances. In time, you will see the undeniable truth. The shift always begins in the mind. And once the mind has changed, reality has no choice but to follow. Change is a natural and constant force in life, yet many resist it. Not because they do not want better, but because they fear the unknown. The familiar, even when it is painful, feels safe. The mind clings to what it has known, even if that very thing is the source of suffering. But resistance to change does not stop the shift from happening. It only delays it. It prolongs the struggle, intensifies discomfort, and makes the process more difficult than it needs to be. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, holding onto a rock while the current pulls at you. The flow of life is urging you forward, but your grip remains tight. You fear that if you let go, you might be swept away into chaos. Yet what you do not realize is that the current is carrying you towards something greater. The struggle, the exhaustion, the pain, it all stems from resisting the natural flow. If you would only release your grip, you would find that the river knows exactly where to take you. This is how resistance operates in our lives. It comes in the form of doubt, fear, and attachment to old patterns. People say they want change, yet they refuse to let go of what is keeping them bound. They want abundance, but hold on to a scarcity mindset. They desire love, but cling to past hurts. They seek success, but remain trapped in self-doubt. And so, despite all their efforts, nothing truly changes, because deep down, they are still holding on to the version of themselves that belongs to the past. Surrender is the key. But surrender is not weakness. It is not giving up or becoming passive. True surrender is the willingness to trust the unseen, to step forward without needing to control every detail, and to release the need to know how everything will unfold. It is understanding that there is a greater intelligence guiding your path, one that operates beyond logic and human reasoning. The ego thrives on control. It wants certainty. It wants guarantees. It wants to map out every step before moving forward. But the nature of transformation does not work that way. If you demand to see proof before believing, you will forever be stuck in the same loop. The shift happens only when you allow yourself to believe first, when you trust that what you desire is already unfolding, even if there is no visible evidence. Many people delay their progress because they are waiting for conditions to be perfect. They tell themselves they will take action when they feel ready, when they have more money, when they receive a sign, when circumstances align. But what they do not realize is that waiting itself is a form of resistance. The universe responds to movement, to faith, to action taken in belief, not to hesitation and doubt. The longer you wait, the longer you remain in the same reality. Letting go does not mean abandoning responsibility. It means releasing attachment to how things must happen. It means freeing yourself from the weight of overthinking, from the need to force outcomes, from the habit of second-guessing yourself. It means stepping into the unknown with confidence, knowing that whatever lies ahead is meant for you. Fear is the greatest anchor holding people back. The fear of failure, the fear of making the wrong decision, the fear of disappointment. But what if you reframed fear? What if, instead of seeing it as something to avoid, you saw it as a sign that you are on the right path? Growth always feels uncomfortable at first. Every great shift requires stepping beyond what is familiar, and with that comes uncertainty. But uncertainty is not your enemy. It is the space where miracles unfold. Trusting the unseen means believing that what you desire is already on its way, even if there are no signs yet. It means choosing to feel the joy, the abundance, the success, the love before it arrives. Because the moment you stop resisting and start embodying the new reality, everything around you will begin to shift. But trust requires patience. Many give up too soon because they do not see instant results. They revert to old patterns, returning to their comfort zone, and then wonder why their life remains the same. The truth is, reality reshapes itself in response to the inner world, but it takes time for the physical to catch up with the spiritual. Impatience is another form of resistance. It is an unconscious declaration that you do not truly believe the shift is happening. This is why surrender is so powerful. When you stop resisting, stop overanalyzing, stop questioning every step, you create space for transformation, you open the door for the new to enter, you move with the current instead of against it, and suddenly, what once felt impossible begins to unfold effortlessly. The shift is already in motion. The question is, are you flowing with it or fighting against it? Your ability to move into the life you desire depends entirely on your willingness to let go. Let go of fear. Let go of control. Let go of the belief that you must struggle. When you surrender, you align yourself with the flow of life. And in that flow, everything you seek will find you. Everything in your life is shaped first in the unseen before it manifests in the physical world. Whether you realize it or not, you are always imagining something. Your mind is constantly picturing events, outcomes, and possibilities. The question is, are you imagining what you desire, or are you reinforcing the same patterns that keep you stuck? Because what you persistently see in your mind, whether consciously or unconsciously, prepares the way for what unfolds in your reality. The power of imagination is often overlooked because it seems too simple. People assume that change requires effort, struggle, and external action, yet they fail to recognize that action alone, without a shift in perception, leads to the same results. The outer world is only a reflection of the inner world. You cannot experience a reality you have not first accepted and embodied within your mind. When God is shifting you into a new season, you must align yourself mentally and emotionally with where you are going, not where you have been. Too many people sabotage their progress by continuing to see themselves as they were instead of embracing who they are becoming. They pray for abundance while still seeing themselves as struggling. They ask for love while holding on to the belief that they are unworthy. They seek opportunities while picturing failure. And so, despite their desires, they remain in the same reality because their imagination is still tied to the past. Imagination is not fantasy. It is the creative power that brings forth reality. It is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. If you can see it clearly in your mind, feel it as if it is already happening, and persist in that vision, the world around you must eventually conform. This is not wishful thinking. It is a fundamental law of life. Every great shift begins with a change in perception. Before a door opens in the physical world, it first opens in your imagination. If you cannot see yourself walking through it, you will not recognize it when the opportunity presents itself. If you cannot picture yourself as successful, confident, and fulfilled, no amount of effort will override the deep-seated belief that you are not. This is why aligning your imagination with the new reality God is leading you into is crucial. Most people are ruled by their external circumstances. They look at their current situation and instead of using imagination to create something new, they reinforce what already exists. They say, this is just the way things are, and so they continue living the same story. They allow temporary setbacks to define them permanently because they cannot see beyond the moment. But those who understand the power of imagination do not let present circumstances dictate their future. They persist in their vision even when nothing seems to be changing, because they know that the unseen reality is just as real, if not more real, than what their senses perceive. The key is persistence. A single moment of visualization will not create lasting change. You must make your new reality so familiar in your mind that it becomes your natural state. It is not enough to imagine something briefly and then return to old doubts and fears. You must dwell in the new state, feel it, embody it, live as if it is already true, because in a deeper sense, it is. The moment you accept a new reality internally, the external world begins to shift to match it. There is no need to force or struggle. The work is in shifting your awareness, in maintaining the vision despite appearances, in trusting that what you see within will soon be seen without. When you remain faithful to the unseen, when you refuse to let doubt shake your conviction, you align yourself with the flow of divine movement. Suddenly, doors open effortlessly. Circumstances rearrange, people and opportunities show up at the right time. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Many fail because they allow themselves to be swayed by temporary conditions. They begin to imagine a better future, but the moment they face opposition, they return to their old way of thinking. They let fear, frustration, or impatience take over, and in doing so, they undo the work they had begun. The secret is to persist, to remain unshaken, to trust that the shift is happening even when there is no visible evidence yet. God is moving you into a greater reality, but you must prepare the way. You must make room for the new by letting go of the old doubts, old fears, old assumptions. You must see yourself as already having received what you desire. Walk in confidence, think from the new state, and refuse to entertain any thought that contradicts it. Because whatever you persistently see in your mind, you will eventually hold in your hands. Faith is the unseen bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. It is the quiet certainty that what you desire is already yours, even before there is any visible proof. Without faith, you remain bound to what your senses perceive, unable to move beyond the limitations of your current reality. But with faith, you step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that all is unfolding exactly as it should. Most people struggle with faith because they have been conditioned to believe only in what they can see. They trust the physical world more than the unseen power shaping it. They pray for change, but still allow fear and doubt to control their thoughts. They ask for guidance, but hesitate to take steps forward unless they see clear signs. This is why so many remain stuck, because they are waiting for external confirmation before they truly believe. But faith does not work that way. Faith is the knowing that precedes the evidence, not the result of it. When God is shifting you, He does not always give you the full picture. He may not reveal every step or provide immediate proof of what is happening behind the scenes. This is because faith is required for the process to unfold. If everything were visible from the beginning, there would be no need for trust. Faith is the key that unlocks the next level. It is the willingness to step forward even when the path is unclear, to believe in the unseen reality even when the physical world shows no sign of change. The moment you decide to walk by faith, you disconnect from the limitations of the old reality. You no longer let circumstances dictate your beliefs, and you refuse to let delays shake your confidence. You hold firm to the knowing that everything is already working in your favor, even when there is no visible proof. This unwavering trust is what allows the shift to fully take place. On the other hand, is what keeps you trapped. The mind will always try to pull you back into familiar patterns, whispering thoughts of fear and uncertainty. It will tell you that nothing is changing, that you are wasting your time, that you are foolish for believing in something you cannot yet see. But doubt is the enemy of transformation. It builds walls where there should be bridges. It blinds you to the opportunities that are already forming. It convinces you to settle for less than what is truly meant for you. Faith requires discipline. It is not a passive state, but an active choice, moment by moment, thought by thought. When doubts arise, you must replace them with truth. When fear creeps in, you must affirm what you know in your spirit. When circumstances seem to contradict your vision, you must remind yourself that the physical world is only a delayed reflection of the unseen. Walking by faith means living as if what you desire is already yours. It means carrying yourself with the confidence of someone who knows the outcome is certain. It means thinking, speaking, and acting in alignment with the shift even before it fully manifests. This is not pretending, it is embodying the truth of the new reality before it becomes visible to the world. Many people sabotage their own transformation because they waver between faith and doubt. One moment they believe in the shift, and the next they allow circumstances to shake their conviction. They pray for a breakthrough but continue to speak as if they are stuck. They affirm success but still worry about failure. This back and forth creates resistance, slowing down the process. The only way to fully step into the new reality is to remain unwavering in faith. God does not require perfection, but He does require trust. He is shifting you for a reason, and the path is already laid out before you, but you must walk it. You must take each step in faith, knowing that even when things seem uncertain, everything is working in divine order. Your faith is not wasted. Every moment you trust in the unseen, every time you choose to believe despite appearances, you are strengthening the bridge that connects you to your new reality. Eventually, the physical world will catch up, and what was once invisible will become undeniable. But by then, it will not be a surprise. You will have already known it was yours all along. When God shifts you, the old must crumble. The things that once seemed secure may begin to fall away. Relationships you depended on may dissolve. Opportunities you thought were essential may slip through your fingers. Routines that once felt comfortable may no longer fit. This is not a sign of failure. It is not punishment. It is preparation. Many people resist change because they fear loss. They hold on to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves them. They pray for a new season, but cling to old circumstances. They ask for transformation, but resist the necessary breaking apart of the past. Yet, for something new to be built, the old must be cleared away. A structure that is no longer stable must be torn down before something stronger can take its place. If God is shifting you, it means He is making space for something greater. But too often, people fight against this process, trying to hold on to what is collapsing instead of trusting the new foundation being laid. They mistake endings for setbacks when, in reality, they are setups for something better. Imagine a tree that has outgrown its pot. If it stays confined to the small space, its roots will become tangled, its growth will be stunted, and eventually it will begin to wither. The only way for it to thrive is to be removed from its limited container and placed in a larger space. But that process is not comfortable. The roots must be disrupted, the soil must be shaken, the tree must be transplanted before it can grow freely again. This is what happens when God shifts you. He removes you from environments that can no longer sustain you. He closes doors that would limit your potential. He allows certain people to walk away because they are not meant to go where you are going. If you try to hold on to the past, you will only delay the expansion that is waiting for you. It is human nature to seek stability, but true stability is not found in external circumstances, it is found in trust. If your foundation is built on people, positions, or possessions, you will feel shaken when they are removed. But if your foundation is built on faith, you will understand that every loss is making way for something greater. Letting go is difficult when you do not yet see what is ahead. The in-between phase, the space between the old falling apart and the new taking shape, can feel uncertain. It may feel as if everything is unraveling. But in reality, things are falling into place. What looks like destruction is actually reconstruction. What seems like an ending is actually the beginning of something better. Think of a house undergoing renovation. The walls must be knocked down, the old flooring must be ripped up, dust and debris cover everything. For a time it looks like chaos, but only because the new structure is still being built. If you walked away from the process too soon, you would think the house was ruined. But if you trust the vision, you know that what is being created is far better than what was there before. When God shifts you, you may not immediately see the beauty of what is being built. You may only see the rubble of what was. But in time, the purpose will become clear, the new doors will open, the right people will appear, the path that once seemed uncertain will make perfect sense. And when you look back, you will realize that everything that fell apart was never meant to stay. Many delay their transformation because they refuse to release the past. They hold on to relationships that no longer align with their journey. They remain in situations that keep them small. They try to force doors open that were meant to be closed. But God will not allow you to shrink into something He is calling you to outgrow. If He is removing something from your life, it is because He is making room for some. The fastest way to embody change is to live as if it has already happened. When God is shifting you, He does not ask you to wait for proof before you believe. He asks you to step into the new reality with full confidence, even before it is visible. Most people make the mistake of waiting until their circumstances confirm the shift before they act differently. But that is not how transformation works. The shift happens first in your mind, in your feelings, and in your actions. Then the outer world rearranges itself to match. Everything in your life is a reflection of your inner state. If you continue to think, feel, and behave as you did in the past, your reality will remain the same. But the moment you start aligning your thoughts and actions with the new version of yourself, everything begins to change. This is not pretending. This is faith in action. Many people pray for a shift but continue to live as if nothing is different. They ask for financial abundance but still speak and think from a mindset of lack. They desire a new opportunity but continue to dwell in doubt and hesitation. They seek love but still believe they are unworthy. This is why they remain stuck, because they are waiting for external change before they allow themselves to shift internally. But the truth is, your external world cannot change until you. If you truly believe the shift is happening, then act like it. Speak as though it is already done. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows their prayers have been answered. Carry yourself as if you are already living in the reality you desire. This does not mean forcing things or trying to manipulate circumstances. It means fully embodying the mindset, emotions, and behaviors of the person you are becoming. Consider someone who is stepping into a new career. If they constantly doubt themselves, question their abilities, and fear failure, they will continue to act like someone who is uncertain. And because of that, opportunities will slip away. But if they begin to embody the confidence of someone who already belongs in that role, they will make different decisions. They will walk differently, speak differently, and attract different circumstances. Their internal shift will create an external shift. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you want to step into abundance, start making decisions from a place of abundance. If you desire love, start showing up as someone who is already loved and valued. If you want to walk in purpose, begin acting with the clarity and conviction of someone who knows they are guided. The world will respond to the energy you embody. Living as if the shift has already happened does not mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to let the current circumstances dictate your beliefs. It means holding on to the vision so firmly that nothing can shake your confidence. It means knowing that just because you do not see something yet does not mean it is not already unfolding. Imagine a seed planted in the ground. Even though you cannot see it growing, you trust that it is. You water it, nurture it, and expect it to bloom. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is working. You simply trust the process. The same is true for your shift. It is happening whether or not you see immediate evidence. Your job is to align yourself with it, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Many people delay their transformation because they continue to dwell in old patterns. They think of themselves as the same person they were before. They allow fear to control their actions. They hesitate instead of moving forward boldly. But transformation requires full commitment. You cannot step into a new reality while clinging to the mindset of the old one. There will be moments when doubt tries to creep in, moments when nothing seems to be changing, moments when the old reality still appears in front of you. Do not let that shake you. Remember, what you see now is simply a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. The new reality is already forming. Stay firm in your knowing. Every great transformation begins with someone who dared to believe in what they could not yet see. The people who change their lives are the ones who refuse to wait for proof. They live as if the shift has already happened, and because of that, the world reshapes itself to match their conviction. So step into your new reality now. Speak from it. Think from it. Feel from it. Let your actions be guided by the certainty that it is already yours. When you do this, the shift will no longer be something you are waiting for. It will be something you are living. And soon, the world will have no choice but to reflect it back to you. The shift God is bringing into your life is already in motion. It begins in your mind, takes root in your faith, and manifests through your willingness to surrender, trust, and embody the change before it appears. The old must crumble so that the new can rise, and resisting this process only delays what is meant for you. But when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the new reality God is preparing, everything begins to move in your favor. You are not waiting for the shift, it is waiting for you. The moment you step into it with unwavering faith, doors will open, paths will clear, and what once seemed impossible will become inevitable. Live as if it is already done, and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Thank you for listening, and may you walk boldly into the shift that is calling you. Sit quietly, breathe deeply. Close your eyes for a moment and listen, not with your ears, but with your spirit. There is a secret few understand, and fewer still dare to apply. But if you grasp this truth and embody it, you will witness the impossible bending before you. You have been told that reality is fixed, that circumstances dictate your life. But I tell you, you are the creator of your world. The forces that shape your destiny do not lie outside of you, they are within. And if you desire change, if you seek to manifest what seems impossible, you must learn the art of impressing your mind with certainty. There is a simple technique, a practice so powerful that those who apply it correctly see their desires materialize in ways that defy logic. It is this. Find a statement that affirms the reality you wish to experience and repeat it 10 times with absolute conviction. Not as a mere chant, not as empty words, but as truth. Say it as though the walls around you will shift to accommodate it. Say it as though the universe is bending to your will. Say it until you feel it sinking deep into your being, until your very cells vibrate with its reality. Do not concern yourself with the how. The how is not your concern. That is the work of the unseen, the divine intelligence that orchestrates all things. Your only task is to assume its completion, to repeat it with unwavering belief. Here is your test. Choose now what you desire, frame it in words of fulfillment, and then say it as times. With each repetition, feel the shift. With each repetition, the impossible begins to dissolve. There will come a moment, perhaps days from now, perhaps sooner, when you will see the first signs, a whisper of evidence, a ripple in the world around you. Do not doubt it. It is the first movement of a reality already formed. Continue even when your senses argue otherwise. Persist even when logic denies it, and watch as the world bends to reflect the truth you have declared. What once seemed impossible will stand before you, undeniable and real, not because you wished for it, but because you assumed it was already yours. Repetition is the language of the subconscious mind. Every thought you dwell upon, every phrase you repeat, and every image you hold persistently in your mind becomes a seed planted deep within your being. And like any seed, it does not remain dormant. It takes root, grows, and eventually manifests as the reality you experience. Your subconscious mind does not discriminate between what is true and what is false. It accepts whatever it is fed with conviction. This is why repetition is so powerful, because it impresses ideas upon your subconscious in a way that bypasses logic and skepticism. When you repeat something consistently, especially with emotion, it begins to feel natural, as if it has always been part of you. Over time, your subconscious mind takes this repeated input as fact and seeks to materialize it in your external world. Think about the habits, beliefs, and patterns you currently hold. Were they not shaped by repetition? The language you speak, the way you respond to situations, your sense of identity. These are all products of repeated exposure and reinforcement. A child does not learn to walk by trying once or twice. They attempt it again and again until it becomes second nature. Similarly, you did not adopt your present beliefs overnight. They were formed through repeated experiences, thoughts, and affirmations, whether conscious or unconscious. If repetition has the power to shape your present reality, then it also holds the power to reshape it. If you find yourself trapped in cycles of lack, struggle, or limitation, it is only because these ideas have been repeated to you by society, by your environment, and most importantly, by yourself. But the beauty of this truth is that what has been programmed can be reprogrammed. Just as negative patterns were established through repetition, they can be undone in the same way. When you begin to deliberately repeat a new thought or affirmation, you are planting a new seed in your subconscious. At first, it may feel unnatural, even false. This is because your mind is accustomed to the old programming. But if you persist, if you continue to repeat your chosen statement with conviction, something remarkable happens. The mind begins to accept it. What once felt like mere words now stirs emotion within you. Doubt fades and certainty grows. And as soon as you accept it internally, the external world begins to shift accordingly. Consider those who have achieved great success, those who have overcome impossible odds. If you look closely, you will see that they did not merely stumble into greatness, they affirmed it long before it appeared. Whether consciously or unconsciously, they repeated to themselves a vision of success, of triumph, of certainty, until it became their dominant state of being. The world, in turn, had no choice but to reflect that inner conviction. The key is not in casual repetition, but in repetition imbued with feeling. Empty words do not impress the subconscious, they are like seeds cast on barren ground. But when you repeat something with belief, with excitement, with the unwavering expectation that it is already true, then you activate the forces necessary to bring it into being. It is not the mere act of saying words that changes reality. It is the state of consciousness from which those words are spoken. This is why faith is essential. If you repeat an affirmation but secretly doubt it, you are contradicting yourself. The subconscious picks up on your dominant feeling, not just your words. So when you affirm something, do so with the full expectation that it is already yours. Do not look to the outside world for confirmation. Persist in your inner knowing. Repetition coupled with belief is the formula for transformation. There will be moments when the old patterns try to resurface. This is natural. But you must stand firm in your new reality. Continue repeating the truth you wish to experience, no matter what appears before you. The unseen forces are already at work, shifting circumstances, rearranging details, and aligning events in ways beyond your comprehension. Your only task is to remain steadfast, repeating your chosen reality until it becomes your undeniable truth. In time, what was once a mere affirmation will become your experience. What seemed distant will become your present. What once felt impossible will stand before you, undeniable and real. And when that happens, you will realize that it was never the world that changed. It was you. The words you speak hold no power on their own. They are merely sounds, empty vibrations in the air. It is the feeling behind them, the deep conviction within, that breathes life into them and makes them effective. Without feeling, words remain hollow, incapable of influencing your reality. But when a statement is saturated with belief, when it is spoken with the absolute certainty that it is already true, it becomes a force that molds the world around you. Feeling is the key because it is the language of the subconscious mind. It is what separates a mere wish from an unshakable knowing. If you observe your own life, you will notice that what you have consistently experienced is what you have deeply felt to be true. Your beliefs are nothing more than thoughts you have felt with certainty. The world does not give you what you merely say, it gives you what you feel in the depths of your being. Think of the moments in your life where you received something you truly expected. Whether it was something small or something significant, you knew it was coming. There was no doubt, no questioning, just an inner confidence, a feeling of certainty. That feeling is what caused it to materialize. The same principle applies to anything you desire. If you can cultivate the feeling of already having it, your reality will bend to match that inner state. Doubt is the greatest obstacle to manifestation. The moment you allow doubt to creep in, you cancel out the effect of your affirmations. It is like planting a seed and then digging it up every day to check if it is growing. You must trust the process, knowing that once you have impressed your subconscious with a feeling, the result is inevitable. Your job is not to question how it will happen, but to maintain the feeling of already having it. When you engage in affirmations or visualizations, do not do them mechanically. Instead, step into the experience fully. If you desire financial abundance, do not simply say, "I am wealthy." Close your eyes and imagine the weight of money in your hands, the feeling of security, the excitement of limitless opportunities. If you desire love, do not just say, "I am loved." Feel the warmth of companionship, the deep connection, the happiness that comes from being cherished. The more real it feels to you, the more real it becomes. This is why children manifest so effortlessly. They do not analyze or doubt, they simply feel their desires as real, and their world conforms accordingly. They can pick up a stick and believe it is a sword, feel the excitement of battle, and immerse themselves so deeply in the experience that it becomes real to them in that moment. Adults lose this ability because they have been conditioned to rely only on what they can see. But the truth is, what you see is only a reflection of what you have previously felt. If you want to change what is visible, you must first change what is felt within. You do not have to force reality to change. You only have to change how you feel about it. The moment you assume the feeling of already having what you desire, your world begins to shift. People, circumstances, and events will rearrange themselves to match your new inner state. This is an unbreakable law. The only requirement is that you persist in this feeling, no matter what appears in the present moment. When you master this, you will realize that effort and struggle are unnecessary. Everything flows effortlessly to the one who feels it as already done. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable, not because you forced it into existence, but because you felt it into being. Everything you see in your world is a direct reflection of what you hold within. Your beliefs, your assumptions, and your emotions shape the experiences that unfold before you. Life is not happening to you, it is responding to you. Every event, every circumstance, and every person you encounter is mirroring your inner state. If you truly grasp this, you will understand that you are not a victim of life, but its creator. Your thoughts and feelings are like seeds planted in the subconscious mind. Whatever you accept as true within will take root and grow, eventually expressing itself in your external reality. If you believe in limitation, struggle, and failure, then life will confirm those beliefs by presenting you with experiences that align with them. If you assume wealth, success, and happiness as your truth, then life will mold itself to reflect that inner assumption. The world is simply a projection of your dominant state of mind. Many people live under the illusion that external circumstances dictate their inner experiences. They believe that once they get the right job, meet the right person, or acquire a certain amount of wealth, they will finally feel happy, confident, or secure. But this is backward thinking. The outer world does not create your inner state. Your inner state creates the outer world. The feeling must come first. When you cultivate the emotions of success, love, and abundance within, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your new state of being. This is why two people can experience the same event but interpret it in completely different ways. One person may see an obstacle as a devastating setback, while another sees it as an opportunity to grow. The event itself is neutral, but the inner perception of it determines its effect. This proves that reality is not fixed. It is fluid, bending and shifting according to the assumptions you hold about it. If you wish to change your life, you must stop looking to the outside world for confirmation and start looking within. You must take responsibility for your inner state, knowing that as you change your thoughts and emotions, your reality must change as well. This is not wishful thinking. It is an unbreakable law. The moment you assume a new mental position, whether it be one of confidence, success, or love, you set into motion unseen forces that will bring that assumption into physical form. Doubt and fear are the only barriers to this process. When you allow them to dominate your mind, you unknowingly affirm that things will not change. You give power to the very conditions you wish to escape. But the moment you shift your inner world and refuse to entertain any thought contrary to your desired state, your reality will begin to conform. Persistence is key. The world may not change instantly, but if you remain steadfast in your new assumption, the outer world will eventually reflect it. Consider the people who have transformed their lives in extraordinary ways. If you study them, you will see a common pattern. They first changed within. They did not wait for the world to change before they felt successful or powerful. They assumed those feelings first, and the world reshaped itself accordingly. The great inventors, leaders, and visionaries throughout history did not look at their present circumstances and accept them as final. They held on to an inner vision so strongly that reality had no choice but to align with it. You are no different. The same power that created worlds lives within you. The only thing keeping you from experiencing a new reality is your attachment to the old one. The moment you decide that a new state is yours and you embody it completely, the world will reflect it back to you. There is no other way. The world is not separate from you, it is a projection of you. If you want more love, be love within. If you want success, assume the feeling of success now. If you want abundance, feel the joy of abundance before it appears. The external world must and will shift in response. Change does not happen outside of you, it happens within you first. And when you make that shift, the world has no choice but to follow. What you perceive as impossible is nothing more than an illusion, a belief you have accepted as true. There are no real limits except those you place upon yourself. The world around you, the circumstances you face, and the obstacles in your way are not barriers. They are merely reflections of what you hold within. The moment you let go of the idea that something is beyond your reach, you unlock the power to bring it into reality. Impossibility is a concept created by the mind. It is not an objective truth, but a conditioned response. From an early age, you have been told what is and isn't possible, what you can and cannot achieve. You have absorbed these limitations from society, from past experiences, and from the opinions of others. And yet, throughout history, people have shattered these so-called limitations time and time again. Things that were once deemed impossible, flight, instant communication across the globe, space travel, are now everyday realities. Those who accomplished these feats did not accept impossibility as fact. They assumed their vision was real long before the world reflected it. Your desires are not random. They are glimpses of the reality that is already possible for you. When you feel the pull towards something greater, it is because that reality exists in potential form, waiting to be claimed. The only thing that keeps it from materializing is your belief that it cannot happen. But the moment you assume its reality, when you truly accept that it is already yours, the process of manifestation begins. The world operates according to your assumptions. If you believe something is impossible, you will see evidence to support that belief. But if you shift your assumption and begin to see your desire as already accomplished, you will start to notice opportunities, ideas, and circumstances aligning in your favor. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror, reflecting back to you what you hold within. Change your assumption, and the reflection must change. Many people allow external circumstances to dictate what they believe is possible. They look at their current situation and use it as evidence of limitation. But the present moment is simply a reflection of past assumptions. If you continue to accept the limits of the past, you will continue to experience them in the future. But if you dare to assume a new reality, one beyond what seems possible, you set a new cause into motion. The future must conform to that new inner state. This is why those who achieve great things often seem unreasonable to others. They refuse to accept the world as it is. They live in the reality of their vision long before anyone else can see it. They do not wait for permission or external validation. They declare, "This is mine," and persist in that belief until the world reshapes itself to match their inner conviction. You must do the same. If there is something you desire, whether it be success, love, health, or abundance, do not ask if it is possible. Assume that it is already done. Walk through life as if your wish is already fulfilled. Feel the joy, the confidence, the relief of having what you desire. This is not pretending. It is aligning with the truth that everything is available to you the moment you claim it. Doubt is the only thing that can delay your manifestation. The moment you entertain thoughts of impossibility, you push your desire further away. But when you remain unwavering in your assumption, reality has no choice but to conform. The unseen forces of life begin working in ways you cannot predict, arranging people, events, and circumstances to bring your assumption into being. Nothing is stopping you except the beliefs you hold. The moment you release the idea of limitation, you will see doors open where before there were only walls. The moment you assume the reality of your desire, it will begin to materialize. This is not theory, it is law. The world is shaped by those who dare to assume the impossible is already theirs. Faith is the ability to see beyond what your physical eyes perceive. It is the knowing deep within that what you have claimed as true will inevitably manifest, even if there is no visible evidence. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between imagination and reality. It is the unwavering belief that what you desire is already yours, despite what circumstances may suggest. The greatest miracles in life are not produced by chance or external conditions. They are created by those who hold firm in their faith, refusing to be swayed by appearances. Many people give up too soon because they do not see immediate results. They assume that because nothing seems to be happening in the external world, their desires are not being fulfilled. But this is where most fail to understand the nature of creation. Just because something is not yet visible does not mean it is not unfolding. When you plant a seed in the ground, you do not dig it up each day to check if it is growing. You trust that beneath the soil, unseen forces are at work, nurturing the seed, preparing it to break through the surface at the right moment. The same is true for your desires. The moment you accept something as true in your mind, the forces of creation begin working to bring it into form. Your job is not to worry about how or when it will appear. Your job is to persist in your assumption, to remain steadfast in the belief that what you desire is already unfolding. The more you look to the outside world for validation, the more you delay the process. Faith does not rely on proof. It does not need confirmation from the senses. It sees what is not yet seen. It hears what is not yet spoken, and it knows that the unseen forces are already in motion. There are countless stories of people who have manifested what once seemed impossible simply by refusing to doubt. They did not allow their present reality to dictate what was possible. Instead, they held on to their inner vision, knowing that if they persisted in their belief, the world would eventually conform. Some of the most remarkable achievements in history were born from this kind of faith. Great inventors, leaders, and visionaries did not look at their circumstances and accept them as final. They saw beyond what was in front of them. They believed in something greater, and through their unwavering faith, they brought it into existence. Doubt is the only thing that can block what is already on its way to you. The moment you question whether your desire is possible, you disrupt the process. You introduce resistance, slowing down the very forces that were already working in your favor. But when you hold firm in your belief, when you persist despite appearances, the unseen forces continue their work uninterrupted. Everything is already being arranged in perfect order, in perfect timing. You may not see it, but you must trust that it is happening. Think of the times in your life when things seemed to fall into place effortlessly. What you once thought was impossible suddenly became a reality. Perhaps an opportunity appeared out of nowhere, or a long-held desire materialized in an unexpected way. These moments were not coincidences. They were the result of faith working in the background, aligning everything to bring your desire into form. The same principle applies to anything you seek to create. The moment you truly believe and refuse to waver, the universe must respond. Faith is the most powerful force you can wield. It overrides logic, it defies limitations, and it bends reality to match your assumption. If you can hold on to your desire with complete certainty, without needing proof, without questioning, without allowing doubt to creep in, you will witness miracles unfold before your eyes. Not because of luck, not because of external circumstances, but because you believed in the unseen long enough for it to become seen. The unseen forces are already in motion. What you desire is already being prepared for you. Persist. Do not waver. Do not let appearances deceive you. Hold firm in your faith, and the miracle you seek will become your reality. The key to bringing your desires into reality is to live as though they are already fulfilled. Do not wait for evidence. Do not seek external confirmation. Assume it is already yours. The moment you accept your desire as a present reality rather than a distant possibility, you shift your entire world. You no longer hope, wish, or wonder, you know. And it is this knowing that calls forth the unseen forces to bring it into form. Most people live in a state of waiting. They wait for circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel different. They wait for more money before they feel wealthy, for love before they feel adored, for success before they feel accomplished. But in doing so, they place their power outside themselves. They tell the universe, I do not have this yet. And the universe faithfully reflects that assumption. The world does not give you what you want. It gives you what you assume to be true. If you continue to wait, you will always be waiting. But the moment you begin living in the state of the wish fulfilled, the world has no choice but to match your inner reality. To live as though it is done means to shift your entire state of being. It is not about forcing action or pretending. It is about embodying the feeling of already having what you desire. How would you move through life if you knew without a doubt that your wish was fulfilled? How would you speak? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would dominate your mind? When you step into that version of yourself, everything around you begins to shift to accommodate that new reality. You may wonder, how can I act as if I have something when I don't see it yet? The answer is simple: imagination. Your mind is the creator of all things. When you imagine something vividly and emotionally, your subconscious mind accepts it as real. It does not differentiate between what is seen and what is imagined. If you persist in this assumption, if you make it your dominant state, the outer world will be compelled to conform. This is not mere theory, it is the way creation works. Look around at your life right now. Everything you experience is a reflection of past assumptions. You have already been manifesting your reality, whether you were conscious of it or not. If you want to change your world, you must first change your state. And you do that by assuming right now that what you desire is already yours. You do not need to wait for proof. You do not need to see movement to believe it is happening. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the unseen forces are already in motion. Everything is shifting, aligning, rearranging itself to match your assumption. The outer world is merely a reflection of your inner state. It cannot remain the same if you have changed within. Doubt is the only thing that can delay your manifestation. If you allow your current circumstances to dictate your belief, you will keep yourself trapped in the same reality. But when you refuse to be influenced by appearances, when you hold steadfast in your assumption, the world must yield. It must take the shape of your new belief. This is not magic, it is law. Those who have achieved great things have always understood this principle, whether consciously or unconsciously. They did not wait for success before they saw themselves as successful. They did not wait for wealth before they felt abundant. They became the thing they sought, and in doing so, they attracted it effortlessly. You must do the same. Right now, in this moment, step into the version of yourself who has already received. Feel the joy, the relief, the excitement of having what you desire. Let it consume you. Let it shape your thoughts, your words, your actions. Move through the world as if it is done. And soon you will see that it is done. Everything you desire is already within you, waiting to be expressed. The key to manifesting even the impossible lies in your ability to assume its reality now. Through repetition, you impress your subconscious mind with the truth of your desire. By feeling it deeply, you breathe life into it. When you recognize yourself as the cause of your reality, you take back your power. The illusion of impossibility fades the moment you accept that there are no limits except those you believe in. Faith moves unseen forces, and your persistence ensures their fulfillment. And above all, by living as though it is already done, you align yourself with the reality you seek, allowing it to unfold effortlessly. Let go of doubt. Stop waiting for signs. Assume it, feel it, and walk in the certainty that it is already yours. The world must conform to your inner reality. Thank you for embracing this truth. Keep persisting, keep believing, and watch as miracles unfold before your eyes. Close your eyes for a moment and ask yourself, what does the millionaire version of me look like? How do they move, think, and feel? You must become that version now. Not tomorrow, not someday, but right now. The secret to wealth is not found in effort, struggle, or luck. It is found in the state of being. Right now, you are holding an idea of yourself, whether rich or poor, successful or struggling. And the world is only mirroring that idea. If you want wealth, you must embody wealth first. A millionaire does not wish for wealth, they live from it. They are not concerned with lack, nor do they chase money. Instead, they carry an air of certainty, moving through the world with confidence. They expect abundance. They are comfortable making bold decisions. They do not doubt themselves. If you act as though you are still waiting for riches, you will always remain in that state of waiting. But when you assume the feeling of already having it, when you walk as though the world is already bending to your success, you shift into that reality. Do not let your current circumstances deceive you. If your bank account is empty, do not react with fear, respond with faith. If opportunities seem scarce, see them as already yours. When you enter the state of certainty, the world has no choice but to yield. You must become a vibrational match to wealth. Speak, move, and think like the version of you that already has millions. Take actions with faith, not fear. Carry yourself with the knowing that you are already financially free. Be grateful now. Gratitude is not something you reserve for when the money arrives. It is the proof that you have received it in consciousness, and what is real in consciousness must become real in form. Wealth is not outside of you, it is within you. Step into the reality of riches today and watch as the world rearranges itself to reflect the truth you now live. Everything you need to become a millionaire already exists within your imagination. The mind is not merely a place for thoughts to come and go. It is the origin of all creation. Every skyscraper, every thriving business, every innovation that reshaped the world first existed as a thought, a vision in someone's mind before it became tangible. The mistake most people make is believing that wealth is something external, something to be pursued, when in truth it is a state of being that first takes root within before it manifests without. You are not separate from the wealth you desire, the money, the luxury, the success. It is not some distant reality you must struggle to reach. It is already within you, waiting to be expressed. The only reason you do not see it now is because your mind has been conditioned to accept limitation, scarcity, and lack as normal. But what is normal is only what you have been taught to believe. Look around at the life you currently live. Every aspect of it, from your financial situation to your relationships, is a mirror reflecting the dominant state of your mind. If you consistently think in terms of lack, worrying about money, fearing bills, believing wealth is reserved for a select few, then life will continue to show you proof of that assumption. But the moment you shift your focus, the moment you begin to assume the mindset of wealth, the world will reshape itself to match that new belief. Wealth does not begin in a bank account, it begins in the consciousness of the individual. A millionaire is not someone who merely has money. A millionaire is someone who knows themselves to be abundant regardless of the numbers they currently see. They do not dwell in fear of loss, nor do they hesitate in their actions. They carry themselves with the certainty that money flows to them naturally, that opportunities arise effortlessly, that the world bends to their vision, and because they hold this state, life confirms it. Your mind is a factory of wealth, constantly producing outcomes based on the raw material you feed it, your thoughts. If you think small, you create small results. If you think in terms of expansion, possibility, and certainty, you generate limitless returns. The question is, what are you feeding your mind? Do you begin your day imagining obstacles, or do you see doors opening before you? Do you see money as something scarce, something difficult to obtain, or do you view it as an ever-flowing energy that naturally gravitates toward you? The answer to these questions determines your experience. Many people fall into the trap of reacting to their current circumstances rather than assuming control over their reality. If they see a low bank balance, they feel anxious. If they receive a bill, they panic. But a person who understands the power of the mind does not react, they create. Instead of reinforcing the illusion of scarcity, they close their eyes and see themselves as wealthy, secure, and free. They walk in the world as though it has already been done. They do not wait for their reality to change before they feel different. They feel different first, and their reality follows. This is not wishful thinking. This is how the law of life operates. What you hold consistently in your mind must externalize in your world. If you want to see wealth, you must first become wealthy in thought. Not just once, not just when you feel inspired, but as a way of life. Hesitation and fear are the only things standing between you and the millionaire version of yourself. The moment you decide to shift your focus, to reject every idea of limitation and instead persistently dwell in the feeling of abundance, you activate the forces that shape reality. Money will come, opportunities will present themselves, but it will not be by accident. It will be because you have commanded it through your state of being. If your mind is the factory of wealth, then you must become its masterful architect. Construct the thoughts that align with riches, abundance, and ease. Live in the certainty that what you imagine is already yours. And as you persist, the world will have no choice but to reflect your new reality. Wealth does not come first, the feeling of wealth does. Most people make the mistake of believing they must first see evidence of success before they can feel successful. They wait for the money to arrive, the opportunities to unfold, or the circumstances to shift before they allow themselves to feel rich. But this is an illusion, a backward approach to life. Reality does not create your state of being creates reality. Look at the world around you. Every object, every invention, every great fortune ever built first existed in an unseen realm, the mind. The same is true for your own wealth. If you want to become a millionaire, you must first become it internally. You must feel it before you see it. You must assume the mood, attitude, and certainty of someone who already possesses everything they desire. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is how life works. You are constantly projecting an inner state onto the world, and the world mirrors it back to you. If you feel lack, if you feel desperate for more, you are affirming to life that you do not have enough. And so it continues to give you the experience of needing, of chasing, of never quite reaching. But when you shift your focus, when you step into the state of already having, everything changes. The world does not respond to empty effort, it responds to certainty. Think of a person who is truly wealthy. They do not panic over bills. They do not hesitate when making decisions. They carry themselves with an inner security and effortless confidence that they belong to the realm of abundance. And because they feel it, the world continues to give them reasons to confirm it. Ask yourself, how would I think, act, and feel if I were already a millionaire? Would you worry about small expenses? Would you feel anxious about the future? Or would you move through life with ease, knowing that wealth is simply a natural part of your experience? The key is to embody that state now, regardless of what your current circumstances show you. If your bank account is low, do not react with fear. Instead, shift into the feeling of abundance. Carry yourself as though financial security is already yours. Speak as if money flows effortlessly to you. Make decisions with the confidence of someone who knows their success is inevitable. The moment you do this, the world begins to shift. Opportunities you never noticed before will appear. The right people will come into your life. Inspired ideas will emerge, leading you exactly where you need to be. But none of this can happen if you are waiting for proof before you believe. Belief must come first. Many will argue, how can I feel rich when I am struggling? How can I act as if I already have wealth when my reality says otherwise? But this is precisely the test. The ones who understand this truth, who persist in the feeling of already having, no matter what their eyes see, are the ones who rise. The ones who continue to dwell in lack, waiting for circumstances to change before they shift their mindset, remain stuck in the cycle of struggle. Your inner world is the blueprint for your outer world. Just as an architect must first envision the design before the building appears, you must first hold the feeling of wealth before it materializes. This is not about reckless spending or pretending to be someone you are not. It is about stepping into the knowing that your wealth is already real, already done, and allowing life to bring it into form. Doubt and impatience are the only things that delay your manifestation. If you check constantly for proof, wondering why nothing has changed yet, you are reinforcing the very lack you wish to escape. Instead, persist in the feeling. Let it become your natural state. When you walk, when you speak, when you make choices, do so from the identity of the millionaire version of you. And then, as surely as the sun rises, the world will conform. The wealth you once sought will begin seeking you. You are not separate from the wealth you desire. It is not something outside of you, something to chase or hope for. It is already a part of you waiting to be expressed. But for it to manifest, you must first embody the role completely. The version of you that is wealthy, the version that has already achieved everything you desire, moves, speaks, and thinks in a way that is entirely different from the person who still feels stuck in limitation. Look at the way truly wealthy individuals carry themselves. They do not hesitate. They do not second-guess their worth. They do not allow doubt to dictate their actions. They know who they are. They know that wealth is their natural state, and because of this, their reality continuously reflects abundance back to them. Now ask yourself, what if you began to live this way today? Most people believe they must wait for success before they act successful. They believe they must see proof of wealth before they carry themselves as someone who is rich. But this is precisely why they remain stuck. Reality does not create your state of being. Your state of being creates reality. If you continue to walk, talk, and think as someone who is struggling, then struggle will remain your experience. But if you begin now, if you adopt the posture, the speech, the decisions of the wealthy version of you, then life has no choice but to rearrange itself accordingly. This is not about pretense. It is not about empty arrogance or reckless spending. It is about aligning your entire being with the identity of wealth. When you walk into a room, do so with the presence of someone who belongs in spaces of prosperity. When you make decisions, do so from a place of certainty, not fear. When you speak about money, do so with the confidence of someone who knows it flows easily, not someone who constantly worries about where it will come from next. The shift begins in small, everyday moments. If you were already a millionaire, how would you handle setbacks? Would you react with panic and frustration, or would you maintain composure, knowing that no obstacle is greater than your ability to overcome it? If you were already wealthy, how would you approach opportunities? Would you hesitate, doubting whether you are capable, or would you step forward with boldness and trust in your own power? It is in these small choices that your reality is rewritten. Every time you choose to embody wealth rather than lack, you are reprogramming your subconscious mind to accept abundance as your truth. And as you continue to operate from this new state, your external world will shift to match it. Think of the actors who fully commit to a role. The most powerful performances come from those who immerse themselves so deeply in the character that they begin to think and feel as that person would. Their body language changes, their speech patterns shift, their very essence transformed. And for the duration of that role, they become that person. You must do the same. But unlike an actor, this is not a temporary performance. This is the unveiling of your true self. The you that has always been wealthy, always been successful, always been powerful. The only thing keeping you from experiencing it is the identity you are currently choosing to wear. If you wish to be rich, think, feel, and act as someone who is already rich. Do not wait for the external proof. The moment you assume the role fully, reality will conform. The opportunities, the connections, the money, it will all begin to flow to you with ease. But it begins with you. It begins with your decision to embody wealth now. Most people spend their lives chasing what they desire. They run after money, opportunities, success, believing that if they work hard enough, push long enough, or prove themselves worthy, they will finally attain the wealth they seek. But the truth is, chasing only pushes what you desire further away. When you chase something, you affirm that it is not already yours. You create a state of longing, of needing, of lacking. And the more you focus on what you lack, the more the universe reflects that lack back to you. This is why desperation repels. It is an energy of scarcity, of not having, of striving without ever arriving. But there is another way. A way that is effortless, natural, and infinitely more powerful. You do not chase wealth. You attract it. Ask yourself, are you acting like a beggar? Or are you carrying yourself as a king? The moment you stop chasing and start aligning, your entire experience shifts. Instead of longing for money, you step into the identity of someone who already possesses it. Instead of hoping for opportunities, you recognize that they are already yours, simply waiting for you to claim them. This is not arrogance. This is not wishful thinking. This is understanding how reality truly works. Everything you desire already exists. The version of you that is wealthy, successful, and financially free is not a distant dream. It is a present reality waiting for you to step into it. But you cannot reach it through force or desperation. You must become the person who naturally attracts that level of abundance. You must walk, talk, think, and feel as if it is already done. If you want money to flow into your life, you must first stop obsessing over not having it. Every time you worry, every time you stress, every time you feel like you need more, you are reinforcing the very lack you are trying to escape. But when you shift your focus, when you decide to embody the energy of wealth now, everything changes. Money flows to those who expect it, who feel at ease with it, who trust in its presence. Opportunities come to those who do not desperately seek them but know they are always in the right place at the right time. The right connections appear effortlessly when you stop trying to force relationships and instead become the kind of person that success naturally gravitates toward. This is the difference between chasing and attracting. Chasing says, I don't have it, but I need it. Attracting says, it is already mine and I am open to receiving it. Chasing is fear-based. It comes from a place of not having enough. It is rooted in doubt, uncertainty, and scarcity. Attraction is power-based. It comes from a deep inner knowing that you are already abundant, that everything you desire is already aligned with you, and that your only job is to step into that state fully. Stop running after wealth as if it is something outside of you. Instead, become the person who already has it. Feel it now. Live from it now. Let go of the struggle. Release the desperation. And trust that what is meant for you will come, not because you chased it, but because you aligned with it. Your present reality is nothing more than a reflection of your past thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. If you continue to react to it, you will remain trapped in the same cycle. This is why most people struggle to break free from financial lack. They look at their bank account, see little to nothing, and allow that to dictate their feelings, their mindset, and their next actions. But by doing so, they reinforce the very state they are trying to escape. If you truly wish to experience wealth, you must ignore the present and live in the end. You must mentally and emotionally step into the reality where you already have more than enough. You must assume the state of financial abundance so completely that it becomes your new foundation, your new truth, your new identity. Think about it. If a millionaire lost everything overnight, would they panic? No. Because their wealth is not just in their bank account, it is in their mind. They know how to generate abundance because they have lived in that state before. Their confidence, their decisions, and their actions all come from the assumption that wealth is their natural condition, and because of this, they will inevitably create it again. Imagine that you adopted this mindset today. Imagine that instead of reacting to your current financial situation, you began to embody the version of yourself that is already rich. How would you think? How would you feel? How would you move through the world? The key is persistence. The moment you begin to live in the end, reality will test you. Your external world will try to pull you back into old patterns of fear and doubt. You might look at your bank balance and feel the urge to worry. You might receive an unexpected bill and feel tempted to fall back into scarcity thinking. But this is where most people fail. They let the present dictate their future instead of holding firm to their vision. You must persist. No matter what you see in front of you, your inner reality must remain unshaken. When you refuse to react to lack, when you remain steadfast in the state of already having more than enough, the world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your assumption. This is not about ignoring responsibilities or pretending that money doesn't matter. It is about refusing to let the present moment define what is possible for you. It is about shifting your focus from what is to what will be, to what already exists in the unseen, because everything you desire is already created in the invisible realm of imagination, waiting for you to claim it. If you knew with absolute certainty that millions were already yours, would you still worry? Would you still feel desperate? Or would you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their wealth is inevitable? The secret is to feel that way now, to walk through life as though your financial success is already secure, to think, speak, and act in alignment with that truth. The more you dwell in the state of having, the faster reality will shift to reflect it. Most people delay their happiness, waiting for external proof before they allow themselves to believe in abundance. But the truth is, it works the other way around. You must believe first. You must feel it first. You must persistently dwell in the state of already having. And then, effortlessly, what you desire will materialize. Do not be distracted by what appears to be. Do not let today's circumstances convince you of limitations that do not truly exist. Your current reality is nothing but a fading echo of past thoughts. What matters is the reality you are choosing to embody right now. Ignore the present. Live in the end. See yourself as already wealthy, already successful, already free. And as you remain faithful to this state, the world will conform, and the wealth you seek will appear, not because you chased it, but because you finally accepted it as yours. Gratitude is the secret that seals your manifestation. It is the invisible yet powerful force that finalizes your assumption and allows it to take form in reality. When you express gratitude, not after receiving but before, you signal to the universe that what you desire is already yours. You confirm the unseen as fact, and in doing so you make it inevitable. Most people misunderstand gratitude. They see it as something to be felt only after their desires have been fulfilled, after the money is in their hands, after success has arrived, after the circumstances have changed. But this way of thinking keeps them trapped in the illusion of waiting, in the state of not having. They are still looking outward for proof before they allow themselves to believe. But manifestation does not work that way. You must believe first. You must feel first. And gratitude is the feeling of already having. Think about how you would feel if right now in this moment you were already a millionaire. Would you be anxious? Would you be doubting? Or would you be filled with appreciation, relief, and joy? That feeling, that deep sense of thankfulness for the wealth you now possess, is the very key that unlocks it. Gratitude aligns you with the frequency of already having. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance, from longing to fulfillment. And the more you remain in this state, the faster your external reality will adjust to reflect it. When you place an order at a restaurant, do you sit in doubt, wondering if your meal will ever arrive? No. You trust that it is being prepared, and you wait patiently knowing it will be brought to you. You might even begin to feel grateful in advance, anticipating the satisfaction of enjoying your meal. This is how manifestation works. The moment you assume that your desire is already on its way, you stop worrying, you stop doubting, you stop looking for signs of its arrival. Instead, you shift into gratitude because you know it is done. Gratitude is not just a passive feeling, it is an active force that accelerates manifestation. When you express thankfulness for your wealth before it physically appears, you are affirming its reality. You are closing the gap between imagination and experience, between the unseen and the seen. You are sealing the deal. Doubt and impatience, on the other hand, do the opposite. Every time you question, every time you feel frustrated that wealth hasn't shown up yet, you are delaying its arrival. You are unknowingly pushing it away by reinforcing the idea that it is still missing. But gratitude eliminates doubt. It dissolves impatience. It places you in the state of already having, which is the only state that can bring your desire into being. This is why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly. They have mastered the art of gratitude. They do not wait for money to appear before they feel wealthy. They feel wealthy first, and the money follows. They do not hold gratitude hostage until their circumstances improve. They embody gratitude now. And in doing so, they summon the very things they are thankful for. How do you apply this in your own life? Start by shifting your focus. Each morning, before you even open your eyes, feel a deep sense of gratitude for the wealth that is already yours in the unseen. Speak words of thanks for the financial abundance flowing into your life, even if your bank account has yet to reflect it. Act as though the money is already there, and let the feeling of gratitude guide your thoughts, words, and action. As you go about your day, resist the temptation to react to appearances. If an unexpected expense arises, instead of slipping into worry, affirm your wealth with gratitude. Thank you for the endless financial blessings that always find their way to me. This unwavering thankfulness keeps you in the state of already having, and the universe has no choice but to align with your assumption. Gratitude is the final step. It is the seal that locks your manifestation in place. When you can truly feel thankful for your wealth before it arrives, you can be certain that it is already on its way. And as you persist in this state, wealth will not be something you hope for, it will be something you inevitably experience. Everything you desire, wealth, success, and abundance, already exists within you. Your mind is the factory of wealth, shaping reality through your dominant thoughts. When you feel it before you see it, when you embody the role completely, and when you stop chasing and start attracting, you align yourself with a version of you that is already rich. Reality will always reflect the state you persist in, so you must ignore the present and live in the end, holding firm to your vision no matter what appears before you. And above all, gratitude is the seal of manifestation. The moment you feel thankful for your wealth before it arrives, you confirm its existence in your world. You are no longer hoping, wishing, or waiting. You are knowing, assuming, and receiving. The truth is, you are not becoming wealthy, you already are. You are simply waking up to the reality that your abundance was always yours. And the more you assume it, the faster it appears. Step into this state now. Walk, think, and feel as the millionaire version of yourself today. Hold that assumption unwaveringly, and the world will shift to match it. Thank you for listening, and may you step boldly into the wealth and abundance that already belongs to you. You have been conditioned to believe that effort, struggle, and worry are the only paths to success. But what if I told you that the very act of striving is what keeps you from receiving? You were never meant to beg for what is already yours. The moment you desire something, it is done. It is already created in the unseen. Your only task is to align with it, to assume the feeling of already having it, and to trust the process. Look at nature. The sun does not struggle to rise. The river does not force itself to flow. The tree does not worry if it will bear fruit. They simply exist in harmony with the unseen intelligence that governs all things. You are no different. So why do you fight? Why do you doubt? Do you not see that the very act of worrying is an affirmation that you do not believe? And if you do not believe, how can it come to pass? Relax. Let go of the need to control every step. The moment you release resistance, the unseen forces move on your behalf. The universe is not working against you. It is responding to you. If you assume lack, lack is what you will see. If you assume struggle, struggle is what will persist. But if you assume that it is already done, that all is well, the world will shift to confirm your assumption. Do not ask how, do not ask when. That is not your concern. The seed does not question how it will become a tree. It simply trusts the unseen forces of nature. Be still, feel it as done, and watch as the universe works for you. The world you experience is not separate from you. It is a reflection of the assumptions you hold in the depths of your being. Everything you see, every event that unfolds, and every encounter you have is shaped by the inner world of your imagination. You may believe that circumstances happen to you, that life is an external force moving beyond your control, but this is an illusion. In truth, everything originates within. Consider for a moment that every belief you hold, every assumption you entertain with conviction, is the seed of a future reality. What you accept as true in your mind, whether consciously or unconsciously, takes root and eventually expresses itself in the world. You do not need to force it, nor do you need to concern yourself with how it will come to pass. The process is automatic, as natural as the rising of the sun or the growth of a flower from a seed. If you wish to understand why your life unfolds the way it does, look no further than your dominant thoughts and assumptions. Are you constantly dwelling in the idea of lack, failure, and struggle? If so, your external world will reflect these states back to you with unwavering accuracy. But if you choose to assume abundance, success, and ease, life must conform to these ideas just as faithfully. The world is a mirror, and it cannot reflect anything but the image you hold within. The power of imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the creative force of reality itself. Every great invention, every piece of art, every achievement first existed in the mind before it became visible. The same principle applies to your own life. What you persistently imagine, with feeling and conviction, must take shape in your experience. Doubt, fear, and worry are the great disruptors of this process. When you question whether your desires will manifest, when you look to the external world for proof instead of trusting your inner vision, you delay the very thing you seek. It is not enough to wish or hope. You must know, you must assume with unwavering faith that what you desire is already yours. Think of a dream you once had, something you longed for that eventually became a reality. At some point, you either consciously or unconsciously assumed it was possible, even inevitable. You may not have realized it then, but you had aligned yourself with that outcome, and life arranged itself to fulfill it. Now, imagine applying that same principle deliberately. If you want a new reality, you must first construct it in your imagination, not as something distant or unattainable, but as something already present. See yourself as the person you wish to become. Feel the emotions of already having what you seek. Walk in the certainty that it is done, even when physical evidence has not yet appeared. The moment you accept it as truth within, the process of manifestation begins. There is no force outside of you that determines your fate. No external power holds authority over your life. You are the creator, whether you realize it or not. And the world you move through is nothing more than a reflection of your deepest convictions. If you wish to change your reality, change what you assume to be true. Release the need to control the details. Do not concern yourself with how things will unfold. The mechanism of creation is not yours to manage, it is yours to trust. Simply hold firm to the assumption of your desired reality, persist in the feeling of already having it, and allow the unseen forces to work on your behalf. It may seem too simple, but this is the great secret of life. Those who understand it move through the world with ease, knowing that everything they seek is already within them. Those who doubt remain trapped in a cycle of struggle, believing themselves at the mercy of circumstances. Choose then to assume the best. Let your imagination create the reality you truly desire. For what you believe with conviction, what you persist in imagining will harden into fact. It is law, and it cannot fail. Desperation is the great repellent of all that you seek. It signals lack, fear, and disbelief, and in doing so it pushes away the very things you desire. When you chase after something, whether it be love, success, wealth, or recognition, you are unknowingly affirming that you do not have it. Your pursuit is not one of confidence, but of scarcity, and scarcity only breeds more of itself. The more you reach outward, the further your desires seem to move away, like a shadow that lengthens when chased, but disappears when ignored. When you desire something deeply, it is natural to want to take action, to force the result into being. But this is where most falter. They mistake force for power and effort for creation. The truth is, desperation is an act of disbelief. It is the unspoken statement that what you want is separate from you, that it exists somewhere beyond your reach, and that you must struggle to obtain it. This very mindset ensures that your desire remains just out of grasp, because the external world is only reflecting your internal state. If you believe you are lacking, then lack is what you will continue to experience. Faith, on the other hand, is the great attractor. To trust completely is to know that what you seek is already yours, that it is not something to be gained, but something to be revealed. When you have faith, you no longer feel the need to chase, because you understand that there is nothing to chase. You operate from a place of certainty, and in that certainty, your desire is free to flow toward you effortlessly. Consider the nature of a magnet. It does not run after metal, nor does it plead for it to come near. It simply exists in a state of alignment, and by doing so, it effortlessly draws what belongs to it. You must become the same. When you embody the state of already having, already being, already knowing, all that you desire comes toward you with ease. There is no struggle, no force, only alignment. Those who succeed in life are not the ones who grasp and cling, but the ones who trust. They move with an air of calm assurance, as if they already possess the thing they desire, and in time the world rearranges itself to make that assumption true. They do not check and recheck for signs, nor do they allow doubt to take root. They understand that just as a planted seed does not need to be dug up daily to see if it is growing, their desire does not need constant worry to manifest. Imagine for a moment that what you want most is already done. How would you feel? How would you move through life? Would you be anxious, or would you be at peace? Would you seek reassurance, or would you rest in the knowing? The answer is clear. When you believe something is truly yours, you do not stress over it. You do not question when it will arrive or how it will come. You simply expect it, and in that expectation it must appear. This is the difference between those who struggle and those who receive effortlessly. It is not luck, nor is it external privilege. It is a state of mind. The ones who trust are the ones who receive, for their trust signals to the universe that they are already in possession of their desire. The ones who doubt and chase push their desire away, affirming with every moment of worry that it is still absent. To shift from desperation to faith is to shift from struggle to ease, from delay to fulfillment. The moment you let go of the need to control, the moment you surrender the worry and trust completely, everything you desire begins to move toward you. It has no choice. The law is certain and it does not fail. So release the chase. Let go of the grasping. Move as if it is already done and watch as life bends to meet your assumption. For faith is the key that unlocks all doors, while desperation only keeps them closed. To live in the end is to assume without doubt that what you desire is already yours. It is to move through life with the inner knowing that what you have imagined has already been accomplished, even before any external evidence appears. This is the great secret to creation. The realization that reality is not shaped by circumstances, but by your assumptions about them. When you embody the state of already having, the world has no choice but to reflect that reality back to you. Most people live in a state of waiting. They wait for signs, for proof, for permission from the external world, before they allow themselves to believe. They tell themselves, when I have the money, then I will feel abundant. When I find love, then I will feel complete. When I succeed, then I will feel confident. But they have it backward. The outer world is only a mirror reflecting the inner state. If you wait for external proof before changing within, you will wait forever. Instead, you must first be what you wish to see, and only then will reality conform. Imagine an actor preparing for a role. He does not wait until he is on stage to embody the character. He becomes the character long before the audience sees him. He walks, speaks, and thinks as the character until there is no distinction between the two. You must do the same. Assume the state of already being the person you wish to become. If wealth is what you seek, embody the feeling of wealth now, even if your bank account says otherwise. If love is your desire, assume the feeling of already being loved without waiting for another person to provide it. The feeling itself is the secret, the cause of all external changes. Living in the end does not mean ignoring reality. It means choosing not to be bound by it. The world you see today is simply a reflection of your past assumptions, but it has no power over what comes next. If you continue to react to what already exists, you only perpetuate it. But if you shift your inner state, if you assume and persist in the feeling of already having, you set a new cause in motion, and in time the effect must follow. Doubt is the greatest enemy of this process. The mind wants to analyze, to question, to search for evidence. But faith does not require proof. It creates proof. The moment you say, I will believe it when I see it, you have already defeated yourself. Instead, say, I believe it now, and I will see it because of that belief. Hold firm to the assumption even when nothing seems to change. Reality takes time to rearrange itself. Just as a planted seed takes time to sprout. You do not dig up a seed daily to check if it is growing. You trust that it will. The same is true for your desires. The world has no power over you unless you give it power. If you look to external circumstances for validation, you surrender your ability to create. But when you choose to live in the end, to fully embody the feeling of already having, your world must shift to align with that state. You are not a victim of life, you are its architect. And the blueprint is written in the assumptions you hold. It is not a matter of if your desire will manifest. It is a matter of whether you will persist in the feeling of already having it. The only thing that can delay it is your own doubt, your own decision to believe in what is rather than what can be. But if you persist, if you refuse to waver, if you walk each day as if your wish were already fulfilled, then fulfillment is inevitable. Choose now to step into the reality you desire. Assume it, feel it, live in it. Do not wait for the world to confirm it. You must confirm it within yourself first. And when you do, the world will follow, for it has no choice but to reflect what you've already accepted as true. Time is nothing more than a construct of the mind. It appears to move forward in a linear fashion, but in truth, all possibilities already exist. What you desire is not something you must earn, chase, or wait for. It is already yours. The only thing that separates you from it is your assumption that it lies somewhere in the future, rather than in your present reality. The moment you accept it as done, time bends to bring it into your experience. Most people believe that manifestation takes time, that there is a long road between wanting something and receiving it. But this belief itself is the barrier. When you assume that your desire is distant, you unknowingly place it out of reach. You reinforce the illusion of separation, and so the world continues to reflect that gap. You must understand that the delay is not real. It is a result of your own assumption. The moment you shift your perception, the timeline collapses, and what you seek moves toward you. Think of a radio. The frequencies of all stations exist simultaneously, but you can only experience the one to which you are tuned. If you want to hear a different station, you do not need to create it. It already exists. You simply shift the dial. The same is true for your desires. You do not need to force them into being. They already exist in the infinite possibilities of creation. The only thing required is for you to align with the frequency of already having them. This alignment is not an act of effort. It is an act of knowing. You must train yourself to feel, think, and act as if your desire has already materialized. The world will resist at first, appearing unchanged, but this is only an echo of past assumptions. Do not let it deceive you. Hold to your new reality, and in time, the external world will conform. Many people give up because they expect instant gratification. They look for immediate proof, and when they do not see it, they revert to doubt. But this is like planting a seed and digging it up each day to check if it is growing. The process is invisible at first, but that does not mean it is not happening. The moment you accept something is done, it is done. Time simply rearranges itself to make it visible. Consider those moments in life when things seem to happen instantly. Perhaps you thought of a person and they called you within minutes. Perhaps you desperately searched for a solution to a problem, only to find that the answer appeared effortlessly when you stopped worrying. These moments are not coincidences. They are glimpses of the truth. Time does not dictate when things happen. Your assumption does. If you believe that you must wait years for success, then years will pass before it arrives. If you believe that love takes time to find, then time will stretch out before you. But if you accept in this very moment that what you seek is already yours, then time has no choice but to adjust. It will move in the most direct way possible to reflect your new assumption. So let go of waiting. Stop imagining your desire as something that will happen someday. Live in the awareness that it has already happened. If you had your desire right now, how would you feel? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would fill your mind? Embody that state completely, and reality will have no choice but to make it visible. The truth is simple. Time is an illusion. It is not something you must fight against. It is something that bends to your assumption. The moment you claim your desire is already fulfilled, you step out of the illusion of waiting and into the reality of having. And once you do that, the world must follow. Silence holds a power that few understand. In a world filled with noise, opinions, and constant external validation, silence is a rare and often overlooked force. Yet it is within silence that true creation happens. The unseen forces of the universe do not announce their movements, nor do they seek approval. They work quietly, reshaping reality in response to your inner state. When you learn to detach from external noise, When you stop seeking validation and when you dwell in the stillness of knowing, you tap into an immeasurable power, the power to shape your world from within. Most people are consumed by the need to speak, explain, and prove themselves to others. They believe that their desires must be justified, that their dreams must be shared, and that their progress must be seen. But this endless engagement with the external world drains energy and weakens their creative ability. When you constantly talk about what you want, when you look to others for approval, you are giving away your power. You are placing your creation in the hands of the outside world, instead of keeping it protected in the sacred space of your mind. True power is silent. It does not need to be announced. It simply is. The most profound transformations happen in silence. Consider a seed buried in the soil. It does not make a sound as it breaks open and begins to grow. The roots extend, the stem pushes upward, and eventually it emerges into the light, all without noise. The same is true of your manifestations. The moment you plant the seed of a desire in your imagination, the universe begins working. But if you keep digging it up, if you keep exposing it to outside voices and doubt, you interfere with the process. Teaching from external noise does not mean isolation. It means discernment. It means understanding that the opinions of others hold no power over you unless you allow them to. It means recognizing that your reality is not shaped by what the world says, but by what you accept as true within yourself. There is a reason why the most powerful figures in history often moved in silence. They did not waste energy explaining themselves or seeking permission. They knew that real change happens within first, and only afterward does the world reflect it. Many people struggle with silence because they fear it. They believe that if they are not constantly doing something, talking about their goals, or seeking confirmation, nothing is happening. But this is an illusion. Silence is not inactivity, it is alignment. When you detach from external noise, you give space for the unseen forces to work. You allow things to unfold without resistance. You let the energy of your desire take form without interruption. The key to mastering silence is trust. You must trust that once you have imagined your desire as real, the process has already begun. There is no need to talk about it. There is no need to convince others. There is only the need to know. And knowing requires no words. It requires no validation. It is simply a quiet, unshakable certainty that what you have assumed will become visible in due time. Stillness is the space where creation happens. It is the moment before dawn when the world is quietest. It is the deep ocean beneath the waves, unaffected by the storms above. It is the space between thoughts where inspiration arises. When you dwell in stillness, you become a conduit for divine intelligence, a vessel through which the universe manifests its will. So step away from the noise. Stop explaining. Stop announcing your every move. Stop looking for validation in the external world. Instead, retreat into the silence of your knowing. Let your actions, your energy, and your unwavering belief do the speaking for you. In time, the world will take notice, not because you sought its attention, but because your inner power became undeniable. And when that happens, it will not be because you shouted your dreams into existence. It will be because you cultivated them in silence. There is a natural order to all things, a rhythm that governs the unfolding of life. The same intelligence that causes the sun to rise, the tides to move, and the seasons to change is at work in your life, orchestrating events with perfect precision. Your desires, once imagined and felt as real, are like seeds planted in fertile soil. They do not need your constant interference to grow. They do not need to be pushed, forced, or doubted into existence. Instead, they require trust, patience, and most importantly, the ability to let go and allow them to manifest in their own perfect time. Many struggle with this simple truth. They believe that the more effort they exert, the faster their desires will materialize. They watch anxiously for signs, constantly question the process, and attempt to control every detail of how things unfold. But just as a seed does not need to be dug up each day to check its progress, your manifestations do not need constant monitoring. In fact, the more you try to control the outcome, the more resistance you create. The energy of doubt, impatience, and desperation only serves to block what is already set in motion. Letting go does not mean giving up. It does not mean abandoning your desire or ceasing to care about it. Rather, it means releasing attachment to the how and when of its manifestation. It means trusting that once the intention is set, the unseen forces of the universe begin arranging all necessary conditions for its fulfillment. Your only role is to remain in a state of quiet confidence, knowing that what you have asked for is on its way. Consider the way nature operates. A tree does not struggle to grow, it simply expands effortlessly toward the light. The rivers do not force their flow, they move naturally, carving their path in perfect harmony with the land. The flowers do not demand to bloom, they open when the conditions are right. In the same way, your desires will manifest effortlessly when you surrender to the natural order of things, when you release them into the hands of the intelligence that governs all. The mind resists this truth. It wants control. It wants to micromanage every step, fearing that if it does not take charge, nothing will happen. But this fear is an illusion. Your conscious mind does not need to dictate every detail. Your higher awareness, the unseen creative force within you, knows exactly how to bring about the perfect outcome. When you let go, you make space for miracles. You allow the unseen to work in ways that you could never orchestrate on your own. Think of moments in your life when things seem to fall into place effortlessly. Perhaps an opportunity arrived at just the right time. Perhaps a long-lost friend appeared when you needed them most. Perhaps a solution to a problem presented itself the moment you stopped obsessing over it. These are glimpses of the power of surrender, proof that when you remove resistance, life moves in your favor. Letting go is an act of faith. It requires you to step back and allow the process to unfold without interference. It is the art of knowing that your desire is already yours, even if you cannot yet see it. It is the ability to move forward with ease, unshaken by appearances, because you trust the unseen forces at work. When you truly release your desire into the hands of the infinite intelligence, you no longer feel the need to question, worry, or force outcome. You simply rest in the assurance that all is working out as it should. So let go, let it be. Release the need to control and watch as life moves effortlessly in your favor. Just as the seed grows without your interference, so too will your desires manifest when you allow them the space to bloom. Trust in the unseen, surrender to the process, and you will come to see that what is meant for you can never be withheld. When you relax, trust, and allow the universe to work for you, you align yourself with the effortless flow of creation. Your imagination shapes reality, faith attracts what you seek, and living in the end allows your desires to materialize. Time is merely a tool that rearranges itself to bring you what is already yours. Silence holds immense power, guiding unseen forces to work in your favor. And above all, letting go is the final step, the surrender that allows your desires to manifest without resistance. The universe operates with precision, responding to the assumptions and beliefs you hold within. There is no need to force, beg, or struggle. Your only task is to trust, embody the feeling of already having, and let life unfold as it should. When you truly understand this, you step into a reality where miracles are natural, where desires manifest with ease, and where you no longer chase because you know it is already done. Thank you for allowing these words to remind you of your power. Trust the process, remain still in your knowing, and watch as the universe delivers all that is meant for you.